Hyperloop has been in the news ever since Elon Musk mentioned about a fifth mode of transport in July 2012 at a web publishing event in Santa Monica, California. He suggested that it would have twice the speed of commercial aircrafts and called it Hyperloop. He defined it as a cross between a Concorde, a railgun, and an air hockey table, with the fundamental working principle involving removal of ground friction as well as air resistance. This idea used the techniques of magnetic levitation and low air pressure environment. However, the concept of transportation through evacuated tubes is no novelty. The first patent to transport goods in tubes was taken out in 1799 by the British mechanical engineer and inventor George Medhurst. In 1812, Medhurst wrote a book detailing his idea of transporting passengers and goods through airtight tubes using air propulsion. In 1853, another British engineer named J. Latimer Clark proposed to connect the financial firms directly to the telegraph office using pneumatic tubes. In the early 90s, vacuum trains were first described by American rocket pioneer Robert Goddard. While the Hyperloop has significant innovations over early proposals for reduced pressure or vacuum tube transportation apparatus, the work of Goddard appears to have the greatest overlap with the Hyperloop. According to Musk, the concept of Hyperloop is very realistic and straightforward. His initial concept incorporated reduced pressure tubes in which pressurized capsules ride on air bearings driven by linear induction motors and axial compressors. Today, however, most engineers are going with the technology of passive magnetic levitation. This Hyperloop system uses an array of permanent magnets on the pod. When those magnets move over conductive arrays laid in the track, they create a magnetic field that levitates the pod up with no electric current required. That reduces the ground friction to a negligible amount and promises continuous propulsion with no continuous power requirements. As for air resistance, that's where the tube comes in. The tubes enclose the space through which the pods are to travel, so vacuum pumps are used to suck out nearly all the air, creating a low air density environment as at an altitude of 200,000 feet above the sea level. And so, like a cruising airplane, a Hyperloop needs only a little bit of energy to maintain the pod's speed because there's less stuff to push through. And all the power requirements of the Hyperloop would be supplied by the solar panels installed in the system, making it completely green energy based. With Musk already engaged with his other super ambitious ventures, he encouraged and invited other companies and startups to make the Hyperloop project a reality. And his call got immediate response. Hyperloop Transportation Technologies is the first Hyperloop company to be created in 2013 with a current workforce of 800 plus engineers and professionals located around the world. Virgin Hyperloop One, formerly known as Hyperloop One, and before that Hyperloop Technologies, was incorporated in 2014 and has built a team of 200 plus technical personnel. It has raised more than $160 million in capital from investors. In June 2015, Musk's space company SpaceX announced that they would sponsor a Hyperloop pod design competition and would build a 1 mile long, that is 1.6 kilometers, subscale test track near SpaceX headquarters in Hawthorne, California for the competitive event in 2016. More than 700 teams had submitted preliminary applications by July, and detailed competition rules were released in August. The students' team from Massachusetts Institute of Technology were named the winners of the competition, while the University of Washington team won the Safety Subsystem Award. Delft University won the Pod Innovation Award. The second Hyperloop pod competition took place in August 2017. The only judging criteria being top speed, provided it is followed by successful deceleration. WARR Hyperloop from the Technical University of Munich won the competition by reaching a top speed of 324 km per hour. All the subsequent Hyperloop competitions have been won by Technical University of Munich till now. Now let's take a look at the Hyperloop scenario in India. Hyperloop Transportation Technologies signed a Memorandum of Understanding with Andhra Pradesh Economic Development Board way back in September 2017. It was the first Hyperloop project to be proposed in India, aimed to operate in the public-private partnership model with funding primarily from private investors. The Hyperloop facility could have potentially turned the trip between twin cities of Amaravati and Vijayawada into a 5 minutes ride. The Hyperloop company had also proposed to set up a manufacturing facility that would cater the needs of the Hyperloop project. But after the change in the ruling government in the state, the project stands on hold. Another much talked about Hyperloop project in India was the Mumbai-Pune Hyperloop by the Los Angeles-based Virgin Hyperloop One. Maharashtra government proposed the Hyperloop project to reduce the transit time from 3 hours to 25 minutes. The responsibility of the project was handed over to the Pune Metropolitan Development Authority. However, with the change in the ruling state government, quite similarly like the Amaravati Vijayawada project, this project has also been put inside the cold storage. Maharashtra's Deputy Chief Minister suggested that the government is going to be more practical in its infrastructure plans. The New Delhi-Mumbai Hyperloop via Jaipur and Indore was proposed by Indore-based Hyperloop startup DGW Hyperloop. The company completed the feasibility study reports and proposed to bring down the transit time between the two metros to 60 to 80 minutes. But due to the lack of government support, the project could not move further. Although the Hyperloop picture in India seems pretty gloomy right now, but still there are many projects in the pipeline. Notable ones include the Bangalore-Chennai Hyperloop, Bangalore-Thiruvananthapuram Hyperloop, Mumbai-Chennai Hyperloop via Bangalore, and Mumbai-Kolkata Hyperloop. Keeping fingers crossed. Hyperloop technologies definitely seem futuristic and cutting edge, appealing to tech enthusiasts and public at large. But it has its fair share of criticisms. Some critics of Hyperloop focus on the human travel experience, possibly unpleasant and frightening, of riding in a narrow, sealed, windowless capsule inside a sealed steel tunnel that is subjected to significant inertia forces, high noise levels due to air being compressed and ducted around the capsule at near sonic speeds, and lastly, the vibrations. UC Berkeley physics professor Richard Muller has also expressed concern regarding the Hyperloop's vulnerability of its tubes, which might be a tempting target for terrorists, and that the system could be disrupted by everyday dirt and grime. In August 2013, Elon Musk presented a 57-page white paper presenting the technicalities of the concept. The white paper suggested that $20 of each one-way passenger ticket between Los Angeles and San Francisco would be sufficient to cover initial capital costs, based on amortizing the costs of Hyperloop over 20 years with ridership projections of 7.4 million per year in each direction, and does not include operating costs. The projected ticket price has been questioned by Dan Sperling, director of the Institute of Transportation Studies at UC Davis, who stated that there is no way the economics on that would ever work out. The early cost estimates of Hyperloop are a subject of debate. A number of economists and transportation experts have expressed the belief that $6 billion price tag dramatically understates the cost of designing, developing, constructing, and testing an all-new form of transportation. The solar panel Musk plans to install along the length of the Hyperloop system has been criticized by engineering professor Roger Goodall of Loughborough University as not being feasible enough to return enough energy to power the Hyperloop system, arguing that the air pumps and propulsion would require much more power than the solar panels could generate. In spite of all these criticisms and drawbacks, Hyperloop technology continues to excite the world. Its futuristic super high speed is something which will be very difficult to stop fantasizing about. The innovation that it offers the worldwide transportation industry was exactly what the world was expecting for decades. Hyperloop has all the potential to be a reality. When? That's the question. See you guys in the next video. Till then, stay safe, stay happy. Thank you so much for watching.